Wow, wow. Glock pistols have long been the sidearm of choice for American lawmen, and there's good reason for it. Glocks are simple to run and just as easy to keep up, but more than that, they're the kind of tool you can stake your life on when things go sideways. Doesn't hurt either that they don't cost near as much as those steel frame pistols and can take a beating, which matters a whole lot when your department's running on a tight purse. So, what are the best Glocks a fella could pick up? Let's take a look. Top 7 Glock 22. Glock's first step into the .40 Smith & Wesson world might just be their finest. With the Glock 22, they nailed a whole lot right. Now, Glock's been a big name in the gun game for years, but the 22 is still considered one of the newer kids on the block when you stack it up against their other popular rigs. It's a touch smaller, and because of that, you can run it longer without your hand wearing out. Folks with smaller mitts will notice right away it just settles into the palm and fingers better than most. One thing that really puts the Glock 22 ahead of the pack is how it handles recoil. Anybody who's ever touched off a big bore handgun knows what it feels like when that kick comes back. But this here pistol softens that jolt, and it's got a captive recoil spring to thank for it. That means you're not likely to run into the same kind of wear and tear issues you might have seen on other handguns after a few hundred rounds. Now, if you're hunting for a sidearm that pulls double duty for concealed carry, this is a full-sized Glock, sure, but don't let that fool you. It tucks in nicely with an inside-the-pants holster, and when it comes to carrying discreetly, it holds its own right alongside the Glock 17 and the Glock 19. Top 6 Glock 26. If you're hunting for a micro-compact pistol, the Glock 26 with its chopped-down single-stack frame is fast becoming the go-to for folks who want a solid backup. The grip's so short, chances are you'll want to slap on a pinky extension magazine just to get a better hold. And yeah, you'll need to spend some time at the range getting comfortable with shooting such a small piece. As a sock gun, though, it does exactly what it was born to do: quiet, reliable, and out of sight. Now, even with its tiny frame, the Glock 26 doesn't skimp on firepower. Comes standard with a 10-round magazine, which gives you 10+1 in the chamber. Need more? You can swap in a mag that'll carry up to 33 rounds, if you're so inclined. Sure, them bigger mags will make the pistol taller and heavier, but if you find yourself facing down an active threat, that extra lead might just save the day. Its small footprint is a big reason open carriers tend to keep one tucked close as a backup. Just about every other pistol on this list will group better downrange, but that ain't the point here. The 26 is built to disappear under flannel or denim, in a boot or a waistband. It's a master of deep concealment, not a target shooter, but when the chips are down, this little gun could be the hand you're glad you played. Namors and Spintors. Top 5 Glock 40 M.O.S. Now this here's a purpose-built hunting sidearm that's gone and carved itself out a name as a quiet workhorse among real gun folks out in the field. The Glock G40 has grown into a legend for keeping the bad at bay, putting down hogs and filling whitetail tags, and that makes it one heck of a pistol to keep close to the wood stove. Truth be told, it's about the most powerful Glock you can buy right off the shelf. Sure, some will argue there's hotter custom rigs out there that'll push more muzzle energy. You could mess with a Guncrafter 50 caliber Glock conversion if you're feeling wild, but this thing's a straight-up store-bought cannon. It's chambered in 10mm, and that round's won the hearts of the hunting crowd, especially with a 15-round mag to back it. That 6-inch barrel and slide paired with the 10mm load brings some serious force to the table. That combo long slide, hard-hitting 10mm is turning out to be one of the easiest, no-fuss ways to get into handgun hunting. And what you end up with is a well-rounded semi-auto that pulls double duty as a fierce home defender. This ain't just some range toy. It's a long-reach sidearm that gives you something different when you're thinking through a tactical loadout. A 10mm auto built for the backwoods might not be your first pick for the old nightstand, but it's sure as shooting an option worth considering. Top 4. Glock 45. The Glock 45 is, plain and simple, the civilian spin on the military's G19X. It hits that sweet middle ground and might just be the finest everyday carry 9mm Glock around, so long as you're good with a little extra heft. When police officers laid eyes on the military's version, they hollered for their own. So Glock went ahead and built this rig that marries the slide from the G19 with the frame from the G17. What you get is a pistol that, truth be told, feels better in hand than either one on its own. The Glock 45 packs the full-length grip of the G17, making it an 18-round gun with one in the chamber. At the same time, it's got the G19's barrel length, which gets you a touch quicker on the draw. That blend of longer grip and shorter slide makes this thing balance just right. Now, if you're after a no-nonsense shooter that points easy and fires even easier, the Glock 45 might be just what the doctor ordered. You won't be fiddling with any decockers or thumb safeties. May not sound like much, but let me tell you, those little things can trip you up when the heat's on. In moments where every heartbeat counts, simplicity is the name of the game, especially if you're not someone who trains with a pistol week in and week out. Top 3. Glock 17. The Glock 17's the go-to open carry sidearm for folks who walk the line between duty and home defense. It's one of the first names to come up when folks get talking about what kind of pistol you'd want watching over your place at night. Truth is, every gun safe worth its steel ought to hold one. The G17's the gold standard for most law enforcement, and it's earned that badge through sheer dependability. This is the battle pistol in the Glock lineup, the one issued to the Austrian military, something that'd sure make Gaston Glock grin wide. Now, it's a full-size 9mm rig, and it comes in every generation you could ask for. She's got a barrel that runs 4 49/100 inches, and her full stretch nose to tail is 8 3/100 inches. Load her up with the standard 17-round magazine, and you're sitting just a touch over 32¼ ounces. That's not light, but it sure is balanced. Of course, she ain't exactly a looker, kind of like if the world's toughest Android phone was sitting next to a row of fancy Apple iPhones. But if you had to head into a scrap, this is the kind of pistol you'd want right in your hip or tucked under a coat, like any of Glock's trusted carry companions. Top 2. Glock 19 Gen 5. The Gen 5 Glock 19 really is about as close to a perfect compact 9mm pistol as you'll find. We didn't hand out that kind of praise for earlier generations. And truth be told, this one might look mighty similar, but it sure don't shoot the same. We wouldn't say that Gen 5 Glocks are leaps and bounds ahead in every category, but here's the honest truth. Every Glock that came before didn't mess much up, but this new line, well, they finally started doing damn near everything right. The trigger's cleaner, the stippling's sharper, the magwell's slicker. It's like Glock finally opened its eyes, saw how big the tuning crowd had gotten around its stock gray sidearms, and figured they'd better start building the upgrades themselves. And while the overall size and shape haven't changed a lick, the Glock 19 Gen 5 just feels different when it's in your hand. That familiar Glock grip angle is still there, but now the beaver tail's stretched out, and those awful finger grooves are gone. Pair that with the new stippling, and it clears up a whole lot of the complaints folks had with the old Gen 4 grip. Now, this Glock 9mm ain't necessarily the best in every single category, but it is, hands down, the finest balance across all the different barrel lengths and frame options. For just about anything you'd want a pistol to do, this one'll do it well. That's why it's still the go-to pick for most folks out there, and why so many start their pistol journey with it. Ain't no shame in calling it a first gun, especially when it's built this right. Top 1. Glock 43X. Over the past few years, the rise of high-capacity micro-compact pistols sure turned the concealed carry world on its head. These little rigs offer a whole lot more firepower in a much slimmer package than the old-school double-stack polymer pistols. And even though they trimmed the size down, you're still getting a full-length grip and more rounds in the mag. That makes them real solid for everyday carry. You're not giving up capacity, concealability, or shootability anymore. The Glock 43X is Glock's answer to this new breed of micro-compacts. It brings all the rugged reliability and shooting comfort of their full-size lineup, just trimmed down to a sleek little frame that hides easier and rides more comfortably all day long. Plenty of folks lean toward the 43X because it disappears better on smaller statured bodies. Others like it for outside the waistband carry, where the length of the slide really does play a part in how well a pistol hides under a flannel or jacket. Truth be told, the Glock G43X is one of the finest concealed carry handguns we've seen out of that Austrian factory in a long, long time, maybe even generations. It's so good, it went ahead and knocked the Sig Sauer P365 Nitron clean off the top of the concealed carry list, where it had been sitting pretty for over a year. That's saying something.